Hello, guys, and welcome to our second episode of Red Door Conversations. Hey, Tana, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, guys. So thank you guys for joining us once again. We appreciate you tuning in. And we had a special guest, Slim Thug and his team with Boss Life Construction. We're scheduled to be here, but we're going to have them on a later episode. So we want you to stay tuned and look out for that. But today's topic is the meaning of entrepreneurship going from billionaire to small business. So we're going to really dive into that. And we have a couple of red hot topics today, starting with Marla. Did you want to introduce the video?
Yes, reluctantly. Yes, let's
It's a crazy one.
Let's go right into
We
this
have
video.
to talk about it.
Yeah,
we
I
definitely
guess.
have to talk about it.
This is a good one.
All right, let's go into this video.
I have not had any discussions about that particular issue, but I will look it up, find
Okay.
out what's going on.
So as you look it up, I'd also like you to get back to me, if you don't mind, to explain the disparity in REO rates. Do you know what an REO is?
An Oreo,
No, not an Oreo. An REO. REO.
real estate,
What's the O stand for?
organization.
Owned, real estate owned. That's what happens when a property goes to foreclosure. We call it an REO.
I would be extremely happy if you'd like to have you work with the people who do that.
Well, Mr. Carson, respectfully, that was my day job before I came to Congress. So now it's my job to ask you
Well,
to
I'm
work
talking
with the
about the
people.
people at
Are you familiar with we and what it
Girl, that is too much. Do you understand what I'm saying? Someone that's in that position, you should not have to break down what that acronym
Exactly.
means.
Right.
It makes me wonder, does he even know what HUD stands for?
So this is a leadership question, right? We talked about this as we started the show, leadership. So he's not an entrepreneur per se, but he is in a position of leadership.
Exactly.
And here we are looking to him to lead the housing department. And he
Exactly.
doesn't know the definition of an REO.
And that's a simple real estate
And-
term.
yeah.
Mean, I'm pretty sure he knew exactly what some of the questions were going to be prior to him speaking. So he should at least know what an REO is. It's simple.
But that's okay. So taking that back to business, not knowing the fundamentals of your profession. So
Absolutely.
Right,
That's
right.
the road that I was going to go down because, I mean, obviously, this is a smart,
brilliant,
guy. Yes.
brilliant.
But, I mean, just watching it, I cringed. And I'm thinking, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Please just stay in your lane. Because, I mean, it's almost talking to me about how a car works.
Right.
A mechanical type stuff. I mean, really? He didn't know.
He did not
And
know.
you know what's scary is I'm like, he didn't know. So exactly how did he get this position?
That's where
how
I was
did he
going.
get it?
My issue is, okay,
Did
the
anyone sit
leadership.
down with him and say, okay, we need to discuss, some things
The
before
fundamental
the
things.
fundamentals before
Tasks.
you actually, you're fully in,
Yes.
in there. And what happened?
It doesn't appear
It doesn't
that
sound like he
happened.
was vetted properly.
I feel like our leader
Girl.
picked people he liked and just started putting them in positions, and he
How
didn't care.
dangerous
He
is
didn't
that,
care if they were qualified or not. I like him. Oh, let's give him that. But it's a poor representation of our country.
It sure is.
Stay in your lane. If you're a neurosurgeon, then that's what you do.
Exactly. I mean, when he said Oreo, I was just like, oh my God.
I'm thinking,
I was like, Jesus, just
Oh,
fix
yes,
it.
an
Can
Oreo
you just
shake
put
would
the
be
words
nice right
into his
about now.
mouth? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely not. And he said real estate organization.
Organization.
What is, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was
I just felt
guessing is
bad.
what he
I
was
just-
doing.
yeah.
He was definitely guessing.
And is that
So-
not a dangerous position to guess
very
in when you're in
dangerous.
control
Yes.
of housing
Very
for the
dangerous.
United States of America?
Oh.
That's dangerous.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Ben Carson, if you're watching,
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Kimberly, Mala, Lisa, and myself, we will for free sit down with you
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
answer all your questions so that
Yes.
way you feel comfortable, so you're knowledgeable. And you
Yeah.
don't have to be thinking about Oreo cookies the next time someone
Someone
asks
asks
you
you.
what is REO.
Right.
you'll know.
Right.
Just
right.
do yourself a favor. Find a qualified individual for that position and allow them to take that role.
That's right.
Or he can get in a,
For the
I
betterment
don't
of
know,
the
get an
country.
assistant or something, you know, somebody that can sit down with him and give him all the information that he needs.
So you guys, that's it. We're all full-time real estate professionals, right?
Right.
What does it take? We talk about what it takes to maintain and excel from a leadership, from an entrepreneurship position. What do you think are the key elements of success as a small business, trying to grow your business and create sustainability
Well, one,
as a leader of your company?
I think that one, it has to be your passion. That's the first thing.
Now that's good.
That's really
and,
good.
and what I mean by that is it has to be something that you're into with your whole heart. And I think that you can't just kind of part-time do it. I know
Right.
that
No.
I'll hurt some feelings saying that.
Absolutely.
But if you
But
part-time do something,
Yeah.
My biggest
you're
aggravation
not going to
is
be in it full-time, and you won't know what you're doing.
my
because
biggest
you're gonna be doing it
aggravation
here and
in this industry is when I am trying to take care of business, real estate business for a client between the hours of 8 and 5, and I have someone text me and say I'll call you on my lunch or I'll call you on my break. So you mean to
Another
tell
agent.
me another agent, correct? A part-time agent. So you mean to tell me, and it's nothing against part-time agents. You do what you need to do while you have to do it. However, the client. Correct. The client suffers the service that you're trying to provide to them. It
Exactly.
suffers. So think about those things. So yes, you do have to have the passion. And I can say a part-time agent, I have worked with one. You couldn't tell that this lady had a full-time job or not because she was passionate about wanting to make real estate her full-time. So I'm
There you
all
go.
for, I am
Right.
all for that.
Absolutely.
But if you're just doing this to make some extra money, it's not going to work.
If it's a hobby, like we said on the first show.
But you know what? It also takes, along with passion, it takes you educating yourself.
Dedication.
Which is something that did not happen in, just the scenario that we just talked
Exactly.
about. Yeah, you have to, as a real estate professional, there are some things that are very, very difficult in our industry. One of the things that I personally had to get used to is I'm not a person who likes change. I hate change. And with real estate, the thing about it is
always
it
changing.
is ever changing.
That's right.
And with that, you have to get out and find out what is going on. What are the changes? How do the changes affect me? How do the changes affect the way that I'm going to do business
Absolutely.
so that it benefits my client?
Yeah.
And so I think that's another thing that you have to have along with that passion is the education.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that
just
it
met,
And then
I just met with not a client. My apologies. I just met with someone who just started in the industry. This person is part time and doesn't have a client base. And so my recommend, I'm piggybacking on what you said, Marla. My first recommendation to her was because she said I'm with a company and she's with a bigger name company. She said I can't attend those trainings because I am at work when they're having those trainings. And so my recommendation to her was, you are a member of the Houston
an
Association
association
of
of
Realtors.
Realtors. Amen.
I
Yes.
said they have many free trainings.
trainings.
I
That
met
you
with
pay
her.
for, by the
No,
way,
that you pay
through
for
your
with your
fees.
right.
Yeah.
But I pulled it up on my laptop. We registered for every free class that was
Yep,
available.
that's what I
Wow.
did when I first got into
And
real
so
estate. I
now
saved my
her
money.
calendar is booked because if you don't have the business, you can't educate.
Exactly.
You can educate yourself. So I'm
Absolutely.
piggybacking
Exactly.
on what you said.
Absolutely.
You
You
fill
wouldn't
your
even-
time
Yes.
educating.
Yes,
Yep.
you wouldn't want the business and not
Unless
be
you,
educated.
oh my goodness, you better
Exactly.
speak on it.
And then
Because that
going back
brings-
to
better
what you
speak
said,
on it.
Lisa.
Yes.
Being educated brings that confidence piece that you need.
That,
Right.
Absolutely.
And going back to what you said earlier, you said if it's a part-time agent, they're not passionate. Well, you really didn't say they're not passionate, but how is it doing a disservice to the client?
Right.
If they're not, if they're a part-time agent, are they not getting in documents in a timely fashion? Are they not being responsive? What do you think it is?
Well, I mean, the job. They have someone paying them every day. And that means that they can, and a lot of times when you're making that transition from working a full-time job to owning your own business, you're going to
It's
have to
different.
renew your mind.
Yes. Yes.
Because
good.
Yes.
because a lot of times, and I will say this, getting started in this business, there are several months you don't make a commission because you're not
Exactly.
closing anything. And so if the business is not there and you're not you're not closing the business, then at your top of mind is this job that is giving me that
my
check.
bills.
That's
Yeah.
your priority
Right.
is
Right.
the job that you're working full time and not your real
Absolutely.
estate job where you may have a client here and there, so you're not giving it your all.
But you said, what does a person need? That confidence is golden, because I had early on, I had my license, I would be honest and say maybe 2 or 3 years, but that confidence was not there.
And until what
That
year?
confidence until I
Well,
took
say
it
year
upon
5.
until I took it upon my responsibility to partner with a company that could provide me that training that I needed. Once I got that training on a consistent basis that I needed, then the confidence came. And you know what? When the confidence came, so did the clients.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. I mean,
Absolutely
because
right.
we missed
People
the point.
are attracted.
Well, we
to
missed
that.
the point that it's not just real estate. It's not what you see on
That's right.
HGTV. It's just not. It's not a transaction. This is a complex business transaction. You're
Oh, my
managing
gosh.
people's largest
that
investments
they'll make,
for
yeah.
most people in their lifetime. So it's important that you know how to get that person across the finish line, and that you don't
Exactly.
drop the ball and miss certain critical time factors that make a difference on whether they lose the contract, lose their earnest money,
Oh,
or
my
lose
gosh.
the home.
Yes.
Right. I mean, so there's
Because
so
everything has a deadline, and you have to meet those deadlines.
right. There are a lot of layers to the real estate industry, and I
Yes.
think the misconceptions sometimes encourage people to move faster than they're ready to, and it does a huge disservice to the client. So I think it's good that we reinforce
Exactly.
education.
And
the
speaking of
education
moving
component.
faster, moving faster, Robert Smith moved pretty quickly.
Well, hello.
He moved
Wow.
really fast.
Hello.
When he was
Hello.
giving his commencement speech.
My new hero.
Amen.
Exactly. He moved really. Those graduates didn't know what was coming to them because he just banged it out so quickly, and next thing you know, he's letting them know, hey, listen, I'm taking care of your student loans, your student debt.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question before we roll that video. If you had a Robert Smith when you had finished college, how would the trajectory of your life be different now?
Well, I wouldn't have to look at my account and stop and worry about, okay, you know what? So I got to pay this one. I got to pay.
Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
it would be completely different.
Well, okay, so
It would
you
be
said
completely
something,
different
Tana, the other day
because-
when we were talking about this. So that's life-changing. That's
It is.
generational life-changing
Absolutely it
contributions that he just like to be in a position to change a few generations.
He
because
opened up a
let-
whole
he let
nother
these young men
complete
start their
door
careers
being
without
in debt, and that
having
makes a big
debt.
difference.
That is a
It makes a
huge
huge
Isn't that big?
difference. Because we know after you graduate, those student loan payments kick in, 6 months after? They give you about 6 months, right?
That's it.
It's
And
been
there
some-
is no guarantee that when those men graduate that they're going to find a job
Job
in their
right away.
field right away. It may take 6 months. It may take, it could take a year. It could take longer than that. You just don't know. So he's really done something good.
I feel like, and I'm going to say this, and then some people may not have seen that video. I don't know.
So we
who.
need to roll
Right.
that
But-
clip.
Let's run the
yeah,
clip.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm going to say this. It puts everybody on an even playing field. Everybody that was in that
Yes.
auditorium.
Yes, it
now
does.
there are no excuses.
They don't
There
have
are
to
no
be stressed
excuses.
out about
You're on
thinking
an
about their
even
bills.
playing field.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
what are you going to do?
I
Right,
agree.
Right.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's go
Mike,
ahead.
Wait,
and
wait,
I
wait.
wanna run
Before we run the video, why don't we let because some people may not even know who Robert Frederick Smith is.
Okay.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, and man, it's a powerful, powerful young man. But so Robert Frederick Smith is an American businessman, investor, and philanthropist. He's a former chemical engineer, which I didn't know, an investment banker. He's the founder and chairman and CEO of Vista Equity Partners, and that's an American equity partners
Okay.
firm, and they specialize in investing in startups. So he's not just started investing in people. This is a part of who he is, and you spoke to passion earlier.
Yes.
So there's clearly a passion and commitment. This is the epitome of putting your money where your mouth is.
Absolutely.
So he was
Yes.
giving the commencement speech, and then he gave a significant gift, right? So yeah, let's see what he had to say. You want to run the clip, Mike?
and my family is making a grant to eliminate their student loans.
An unbelievable gift. Each one of these young men has tens of thousands of dollars of debt, which likely would have taken decades of hard work to pay off. But now, Robert F. Smith has taken that burden off their back for a total of $40 million.
Your generosity amazes us. It also teaches us a lesson, and that is that not that it's about how much you give, but that you give.
That's what the billionaire has asked the graduates to do, pay back.
So for 396 students, he canceled, what was the amount?
$40 million.
40 million, estimated
$40 million.
40 million.
I left off, and
That is just beautiful.
his net worth
because-
is public knowledge, but I think it's upwards of $5 to $7 billion
That is
with a B.
whew.
Correct.
Student
Yeah, we're
debt
talking
and
B's.
Bees.
Yeah.
We're talking bees here.
Yeah.
That's why $40 million is possible without a blink.
That's it. and he was, like you said, an engineer.
Right.
So many people
Right.
we know.
People
I'm married
we
to an
know.
engineer, so
Well, hello.
girl, my belief level just went way up.
Hey.
So
Love
can you
it.
believe when I was just looking over everything, student debt in the United States, it has reached 1.5 trillion. Trillion. That is a lot of student loans out there. I mean, people are having to take out these loans, and look what he
Yes.
just did.
Mm-hmm.
Look what he just did. So I wonder, after he gave his speech, what did the other commencement speakers think?
Well, I heard people giving Oprah grief online about not
I heard about
doing
that
the same
too.
thing, and she clapped back.
So what did Oprah say? What did she say?
She has several foundations and is always given to higher education, and so she just went through a list of her accolades and contributions.
Okay, Oprah.
Yeah. And it's not like she's not done some things too. So we're not. I don't
This
want
was
to get
just
into
such
a
a big,
position where people.
I mean, this was really big with him just coming out, because it wasn't expected.
Yeah.
And I don't
It's
think anyone has ever.
needed.
It really is
This
needed.
is something that's just needed. That's the bottom line.
And this is the first time that I know of that this has ever happened.
oh yeah.
So
I mean, we have, you guys know, we have people that we work with 60 years old.
Oh yeah.
Student loan debt.
Yeah.
and what
Still
does that do
paying
to
it.
their? They're applying for some of these. I just had a lady 2 months ago, couldn't get her approved because of her student loans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the
And
sad
these are working
story for
professionals.
that's the
Right.
sad story for
Nurses.
many.
That's
Yes.
the thing.
People who have professional
is the
degrees
thing.
unable to
Substantial
purchase
salaries.
a home because
With
of
the student
student
loans.
debt.
Yes.
So yeah, let's get into that. Perhaps we can let the people know, when you do have student loan debt, what you need to do in order to increase your chances of being pre-qualified for a home, if that's the road that they're trying to go down. So we're talking about owning a business and small businesses and things of that nature, but everyone should have real estate as part of their portfolio.
Absolutely.
Whatever you do, you should have real estate as part of your portfolio in whatever capacity. If you want land, if you want single family homes, if you want multifamily, whatever, you should just start somewhere. So if someone has student loans and they're trying to qualify themselves to purchase a home or investment property, what is the first piece of advice that you're going to give to them on how to structure those loans and what to do?
Well, the first thing that I would say is make sure that you're current on those loans. that is, I mean, because the reason that I say that, and if you run into trouble, the advice that I have
can
is
reach
to
out.
reach out.
Yes.
Because so many people run into financial trouble, and when they run into that financial trouble, they just kind of pause.
They shut down.
And it's like,
You don't hear
well,
from them
I didn't
anymore.
know
You
what
try to
do.
call them.
Yeah.
It just makes them throw their hands
and
up.
so I want to make sure that I put that out there. If you run into trouble with those student loans, because student loans can take a lot of time to pay off, as we've already said. However, student loans are one of the easiest
Loans
people
to secure.
to
Yeah.
to
work
get on some
with
type of
and-
payment plan and
That's
get back
right.
into good standing.
And
I
you-
think some
because-
people just don't know, so they shut down. I was
Yes.
one of them at one point.
Yes.
You know, and the last thing you want your loan to do is to go into default.
That's
because
right.
then you have to be placed in a rehabilitation program. Trust me, I know.
You speaking from
You know?
experience.
You got to be rehabilitated.
You were in the rehabilitation.
Girl, it was many blue moons ago. Okay? Wait a minute. Look, it was. I'm not there anymore. Thank you, Jesus. I'm not there anymore. I'm good.
But it's a, I mean, it's one of the easiest plans to get on to put it in back in good standing. But you could have decent credit. You can have everything else checked off. If those student loans are not
They
good,
can mess up your life.
the process is at a standstill.
Look, they take
It's at a halt.
your taxes, your
Right.
You know, they
They
can
will
garnish
shut
your
down.
wages.
That's it.
you
But
know, so
don't
they-
let
you
it
don't-
be an
don't get like
impediment
that.
to your progress and your thought of whether you can own a home. It's possible. And
Absolutely.
it's manageable. It may seem insurmountable, but it is possible.
Absolutely.
And my recommendation would be to get with a lender who specializes in the type of loan that you need. Because you're going to
Exactly.
need someone to walk you through that step. What's that
And the
process?
sooner you know, the better. You know,
Yeah.
the sooner you know, so that way you can know exactly how much you have to pay down, so you can get qualified for a mortgage loan. Because they take, what is it, 1% of the total
I have
amount of your student loan that they count toward your
for
debt
your
to
debt to
income?
income?
It's
Yes.
1%.
But some
right?
people don't even know that they can have their loans placed in a deferment program while they're in the
Exactly.
process of purchasing, so they can take that out of their debt to income ratio. There's so many ways that a lender can help you strategize and tackle it. I would just recommend that people don't get overwhelmed with it. You may not be able to handle it on your own, but there are people who have done this, and you
Right.
can do it too.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then depending on what area you're in, some of those student loans can actually be forgiven.
Forgivable, that's
Such as if
right.
you're a school teacher and you work
Yes.
So
if
there's
you work
certain-
a title, I believe it's a Title V school.
Title V school.
Yes.
Your loan.
For
And
so
isn't
many
it your
years
whole
or
loan
something
can
like
be
that.
forgiven?
A Title IV school. I'm
Is it
sorry, for
it
5
Title
years
IV?
or something
Okay.
Right.
like that. Yeah.
And so it's the whole loan, right? Or is it just a percentage of it?
No, I believe some
the
of
whole-
it is
the whole entire-
yes,
okay. So
completely
that's a good
forgivable.
thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the things that we need to make sure, Tana, that we are telling people, that we
Yes.
are getting the word out there to let people know, hey, you are in this position with these student loans right now. However, like I said,
It doesn't
it's-
have to stop you.
It does
from,
not,
yes.
and it is one of the easiest loans that one of the easiest creditors, I should say,
Yes.
that you could work with to get you back on
Exactly.
track.
They're not
So
like
you
some of these
can-
other ones shutting you down, and they're actually trying to work with you. You know,
Yes.
well, what can you pay? And
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's try to reel it back in, guys. On that list, if you are building a small business, and you said passion,
Yes.
I said confidence. Okay, what else on that would you add to that list when you're trying to start your business? These are, let's just say you're
We also-
consulting.
dedication.
You're
Well,
you're
you know what?
consulting with one of the young men out of that Morehouse graduation, and they want to start a business. You've already told them that they need the passion. We've told them they need the confidence.
Education, they got that.
Education.
And they need to have a circle of influence, a circle of counsel that
You
they
better
can go
say
to.
that.
Yes.
Connect with somebody who's been where you're trying to go. Even in the real estate industry.
Yep, get a
I
good
don't
mentor.
mind taking younger
There's a lot of them out
agents
there.
in. And it doesn't cost me anything for you to ride along with me and watch how a day progresses. It doesn't cost us anything to do that.
Not at
And
all.
9 times out of 10, people will share their knowledge with you. They might not share their money with you, but they'll share their knowledge
Exactly.
with you. So have a
Let's just say
solid
they'll share
circle.
their knowledge, but if you seem ungrateful
Grateful.
about it, then they'll start charging you for it. So always be in a
grateful
mhm.
position. So, but circle. You guys are my circle of influence. You guys are my counsel. We call one another.
That's
we
it.
support and encourage one another. We can ask questions.
Yes.
And I think that's important, so you don't feel like you're doing it alone. If you're in real estate, if you're in law, if you're in
Yeah, that
doesn't
education,
matter.
Any
goes for
business.
any-
Just a good circle of
Circle of
influences.
While we're all in real estate, we all have a strength in one area or another, and that strength is not in the same area.
Right.
So,
Yes.
you know,
That's in any
you
business.
called me and Kim asking about land. Kim was coming up with stuff we hadn't even
Yes,
thought
on
about.
the
Do you remember
questionnaire.
that?
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
thinking, girl, me and Marla say, let us get our pen.
About,
And then I
right?
called you the other day running something. We're not gonna put it on air, but you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
You know, and I really needed to hear that. So, you know, it's just good to bond with some people that, you know, that's gonna have your back and be able to guide you along the way.
And again, this works with any entrepreneurship
So
type business.
Exactly.
Go for another thing that I'm going to say is that you need to be resilient. You need to be able to accept a no. You need to be able to know that your yes is coming.
That's right.
And you need to also know that just because you have a vision, everybody does not have your same vision. Some people, they'll catch it later. But you have to go ahead. If that's your vision and you have the passion, you have the education, you have the people that you need surrounding you, go for it.
Just go for it
Go
and just keep
for it.
pushing forward. And,
Yes.
you know, you're going to encounter some hiccups along the way, possibly. And you can't let that stop you.
That's
you just
in
have
any
to keep
business. Yes.
moving forward and keep believing in yourself.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be difficult for anyone else to.
Yes.
the next thing on the list that I can recommend to someone, and I've been in the industry, August will be 18 years, and I'm still working on it today. And that's creating a system that is sellable. Whatever business you're in, you have to create a system that's
Lisa,
sellable.
yes.
That's
Yes.
a real good one, Lisa.
Yes, I'm still working
I'ma
on
write
that
that
today.
Someone is going to come and want it.
That's
if it's
it.
sellable.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Thus, putting you in a position to
That's
make
right.
money.
That's right.
That's right.
You know, so whatever you have to make it sellable.
Yes.
I'm learning that, and still working that right now, because when I take family vacations, guess what goes with me? My laptop. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to be able to take that vacation and leave that laptop. And everything is still, hey, we're out of option period. Inspections are done. Repairs have been agreed upon. I need for all of that to still flow. Right now, that's not happening.
But you know what? We're
yes.
such type A personalities. There's some things we will not
part of
let
it is my
go.
fault.
Yes,
yes.
I
Part
don't
of
care
it's my
who
fault.
else is already committed to taking care of that. Guess what I'm going to do? Hey, what happened with that?
Yes.
You
know
still
what?
gonna
Get
check
that
up
done.
on it.
Yes.
Mhm.
Is this done?
Right.
That is so true, because I was thinking, as Lisa was saying, I'm like, well, I do have some people that take care of it, but if y'all know me, I have that.
You
thing
have to
with
go
me
back in and make sure that it was
everywhere.
done.
Everywhere.
I'm the
Yes.
same way. I wonder if all real estate agents are like that. You think we all have a type A personality?
You know what? So that's another
I think that's a
thing.
trait. Is that a
Personality.
trait?
You got to check to make sure you've got the right personality for this.
And
too,
obviously,
or
Ben Carson didn't
character.
have. No, let me stop. Let me
Okay.
stop.
So back in my earlier days, I was an agent with Keller Williams, which, by the way, I love their training program. But there was a test that they had you take. It was a DISC test.
I took that. I took that. Matter of fact, I still have my
They have
disc
several
test at
tests
home.
now.
Most real estate agents are either your high D or your high I,
Yes.
and then that D is second. That D stands for dominance. The I stands for influencer.
Yeah.
So I myself was a high I and then a D. And the hard part for me is turning that D and that I off and when I go home, because I want to be a high D there too, and that's not the right
Do
thing.
you turn it off, Lisa?
I try
not.
to.
A little bit.
She
Little
tries. She
What does
tries.
the S and T stand for in DISC?
Girl. I forgot.
know.
And yes.
It's been a while since.
Yeah.
You know what? That's sad. We don't know because everybody's a D probably.
No, we know what we are.
I don't recall. You're gonna make me pull mine out.
Yes. So and when I got the results, I'm like, dang, how did they know? So and so this goes across the board. Anytime you're getting ready to start a business, you figure out what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses.
Weaknesses.
That is what that test
Yes.
is going to provide for you. That's why I brought it up.
good.
That is what that test is going to provide for you. So. And I was told by my coach, my real estate coach, what you're not good at, you hire.
Exactly.
And so that is
Absolutely.
that is
That's
what
good.
that
And
is
that is
why
the key
that
right
is why
there,
I
'cause-
have hired
yes.
to help with those systems, because that is
Because
not Lisa.
some of us try to do it all, and then we sit there scratching our heads like, why am I not?
Yeah. So what
at this level,
I had
because
to
you're trying to do it
grips,
all.
Kim. What I'm not good at, I'm just paying somebody.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Or
What did
you-
I have y'all do? I had y'all look over it. I say, look, how did that?
Some of the
sound?
most successful people in this world, they're successful because they pay people.
And they know how to delegate.
Yes, and they know
Yes.
how to delegate.
Yes.
Exactly.
That is
Good
a
one.
great
So the
quality
C
to have.
stands for compliance and the S stands for steadiness.
Okay.
All right.
So
Okay.
dominance,
And see, that's-
influence, compliance, and
And
steadiness.
see, I married a S and a C.
You did.
I did. Thank God.
Oh, look at y'all. Just blended right
Mm-hmm.
together. Okay. Let me think. Steadiness. That's the that would be his character.
I think
what's,
that I
what's
You did
Robert?
as well.
I think I did too. Yeah.
Steadiness.
Yeah. I think I did too.
And mine is
compliance.
compliance. Yeah,
And
girl.
compliance.
And
Compliance.
well, that's required. Isn't that a part of the vows?
well, here's the deal. I'm talking about on some other stuff where, and I'm not going to put it out there
Don't
because
share.
it was
Don't
it was
overshare.
big in the news about these people with the schools and the colleges and stuff. But I was looking. We were looking at something for my daughter. I'm not doing that. Nope. And I'm like, well, hey,
that?
my husband.
Oh, okay.
My husband. We were looking at a school that, and he was like, well, that's not what we're zoned to. I'm not doing that. I said, okay.
Compliance.
That's what I'm saying.
See?
And I'm like,
Compliance.
okay, well, such and such is our friend. They'll let us, use the address. Nope.
Did you bite a hole in your lip, Lisa?
No.
I know. I'm looking at it going, was that difficult? So was that difficult for you to do?
Well, here's the deal. I'm just like, hey, you can't argue with right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
then
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, yeah.
You may not like it, but
So
try.
I was going to
argue
say,
with right.
sometimes you
Sometimes we try.
can. Yeah,
You
we
try.
may
Two
try.
sides of right.
Look at Marla.
You can try. And if it fails, then you just, digress.
So guys,
Okay, so wait a minute.
we are supposed to be given a shout out because the title of the show was The Meaning of Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
From billionaire to small business.
Yes.
And we could not, no one at this table could do their job without some very influential small businesses that help us, that influence us. So, Marla, who are you going to give a small business shout out to?
Today, I'm going to give a small business shout out to one of my classmates.
Okay.
He and his wife, they own a food truck, and it's called Romy's Rib Shack. It is absolutely delicious. You guys can look them up on social media. It is
What is it
really,
called
really
again?
good food. Romy's, Romey,
Okay.
apostrophe S. Romy's
Romy's
Rib Shack. Yes.
Okay.
I have no business Googling
Well, I mean,
Romy's Rib Shack when I'm trying to lose this hard
I was
10
just about
pounds.
to say, Marla, I'm not getting ready to backslide.
All your good progress.
All your
no,
good work.
no, but it sounds delicious, and that's awesome.
is.
Food trucks are hot right now.
And so,
Yes,
do you know
yes.
how do we get in contact with Romy's?
You know
Rib
what?
Shack?
Why don't I do this? Why don't I post it on our Facebook page? I'll have
Okay.
to look and
Okay.
to get his number, but I'll
Okay.
I don't know anybody's numbers by heart.
Mm.
But I'll have it on the on our social media page if
Okay.
that's okay.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's do that.
All
Let's
right.
post our small businesses on the social media pages.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, 'cause
So
I
should
have
I go
no
next?
service.
Because
Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
two.
Okay.
But I'm just going to start off with my small business first.
Okay.
And y'all know I don't like to share.
Share
do.
it.
But you
Sell
have
it.
to.
Some things,
Yes,
some
you
things,
have to.
but
Feel it.
and I've come to grips with
Your
the fact
man,
that
your
this-
money, and your masseuse.
I
You
don't
like to
share. I don't. I do not like to share those three items.
And Kimberly, she was good.
Put that on
She
a
was
t-shirt.
real good.
So my masseuse is Giovanna Burton, and she's with A Kneading Touch. Is the name of her company, and I'm gonna give
Spell the kneading.
a kneading like kneading on a massage. KNEADING. A Kneading Touch, and she is amazing. I've had a number of massages in my lifetime, and none better than the massages I've had with her.
I went to sleep on her.
But
I mean,
it's refreshing and
Very relaxing.
rejuvenating. I'm able to start. We do it every Saturday, and she comes to
Oh,
our
wow.
home every Saturday. So she's mobile, which is awesome, and she's affordable.
And
for
you're gonna
small,
put her contact.
quality
Does
small
she stay like in a
business.
certain area, or she'll travel outside?
Well, her
like,
office is
'cause you know,
located
outside.
on
Yeah.
Southwest
I'm out of
Freeway.
town, so
But when you come in town, we can
okay,
set that up.
good.
So Giovanna Burton,
Because she did a
needing
wonderful job.
needing touch, and I'll post that on the social media websites.
Okay.
And what's so funny is when she finished with my massage, she said, "You can now get up." I said, "Okay." And then she went into the restroom, I guess, to wash her hands and stuff. And she came by. She had to be in there maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe. I had fell asleep. I told her I was getting up, but I just that quick. I had fell asleep.
And how long were our massages were?
It was
20 minutes
very
that day?
soothing. She
Yeah.
had the music and was it? Yeah, the candles, and it was so relaxing.
Yeah.
Got to do
Yeah.
it again.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm going to. Did you want to go ahead and you said you had 2?
Oh, my second shout out is to my client and good friend who actually co-executive produced the movie Intruder with
Ooh.
Robert Smith. His name's Chester Pitts, former Houston Texans player.
Absolutely.
And when I say has transitioned beautifully into a successful entrepreneur, it is something to see, and he
That is
inspires me. So
awesome.
I'm really proud of him, and I want to give him a shout out.
All right, Chester.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm all things real estate. So I am going to, I don't mind sharing. It's 2 young women, Jamie McFeeters and Sheena. They're owners of One Real Solution. They actually are going to be guests on
Future show?
not
Or
he's a real
Larry.
Larry
Brooks.
Larry Brooks.
Hey, Larry.
They're going to be a guest on Larry's podcast tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
And the name of their business is One Real Solutions. They are your one-stop shop. If you're not ready or you just don't want to hire an assistant or an admin for your real estate business, please call them up. They will handle everything from transaction to close. They will incorporate systems into your business.
That's awesome.
That will allow you to pull away and go out and procure more business or free up time with your family. So they're easy to work with. They're located here in the Houston area. However, they are able to work with agents outside of the Houston area. So I'll put their contact information on the podcast page as well.
Okay.
But One Real Solutions is the name of their business.
And they're virtual, right? They're all
They are.
virtual?
Yeah, they're virtual, yes. And not very expensive for what they're providing.
Really?
Well, we like good prices.
We like negotiating.
Tana, what
Okay,
about
it
you?
is my turn. So I'm going to give a shout out to Paparazzi. Have you guys heard of this?
Absolutely.
Gourmet popcorn?
No.
Yes.
Yes. So this lady, well, it's not just a lady, it's a family-owned business. They started their popcorn business here in Houston, and they have expanded. They have several locations, I believe about 7 of them, which includes Dubai.
Oh.
And so I have a good friend of mine, Pamela. She does fundraisers for them. She goes to different schools. So if you're in Houston and you want to do a fundraiser, you can reach out to Paparazzi Popcorn. And again, they have several different locations. And I'll go ahead and have her information placed up on our website. She has a location, a store in Kirby, Missouri City, the Galleria Mall, and again, Dubai. So that's wonderful. They started this business
Absolutely.
in their home. They have tons of flavors too.
And what we plan to do is on every show we're going to give a shout out to different small businesses because the 4 of us are small businesses.
Yes.
And so we have to support all of our small businesses because we all have quality products. Now I can't the ones that we mention on here we can vouch for the service, but outside of our mentions we can't vouch for the quality of service that you'll receive.
That's
Exactly. Yep.
I'm
So
glad
any
y'all
more
put that out
businesses
there.
or
Anybody else got a shout out?
you know what? I haven't even checked my Instagram.
Oh, I did have a question.
what?
I have a question.
Do you guys have? Look, I neglected everyone.
We forgot. Sorry, guys.
Social
Oh my
media.
gosh.
Okay, well, we
I
have
so many
5
people
more
watching.
minutes.
We have 5 minutes
Well,
to
we
answer
need to go ahead and
questions.
take the questions.
Okay.
See, Mala, you're right there. Why are you looking at my Instagram?
You had a question in yours?
I don't see any yet.
Okay, go, Kim.
Okay,
We
so
have
one of the
here.
questions we had, and I saw it pop up earlier, was people asked, how did we start our business? It was on the screen and I've
That's
lost
a good
it. But
one.
how did we
So our
start in
business?
real estate?
Oh, okay, in real estate.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you how I started.
Jesus.
I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was enjoying my family, loving doing what I was doing. And my youngest son was going into, he was turning 5 the next year. And so,
Oren.
yes,
Who's
Orion.
graduating.
Orion.
is
Yes,
graduating.
my baby is graduating.
This Friday, yes.
Which is why we're having to do the show today, because the 3 of the 4 of us are going to be at one of our babies'
And then my daughter's
graduations.
graduating, so and then
Exactly.
so
Yes.
yep.
So Orion was going into kindergarten, and I began to think, what am I going to do? And actually, guys, I did get into real estate thinking I could do it part-time. And you know what? Clients started coming. I loved it. I got in
So you're
there,
really
and I
blessed.
loved it. And, I mean, people started coming out of the woodworks. They were calling me, and I'm going, oh, my gosh, this is more than an ocean.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my story of how I got into it. But I love it. I love what I do. So
How did you get in?
You know, I think we touched on this when we first started. I was in pharmaceutical sales prior to
That's right.
real
Yeah.
estate, and we were acquired by another larger company, and they laid off the less tenured reps. That was a nice way of fired less tenured reps. And I transitioned. I started working with a builder. I started working with the builder first, and then I started
Which is
seeing
an
these.
option for some people.
And that may be an intro to
So
real
that's
estate.
a good way to start up
for-
your real estate business and build up your clientele.
You learn the
So-
building part of it. You learn, you have an opportunity to work for someone and earn an income. But I started seeing those bonuses and BTSAs and commissions.
You
I was
saw
like, wait a
those
minute.
dollars?
I could be doing this on the other side.
Here's the deal. And they have you there 10 and 12 hours.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
And you're
right.
in a position
And
now
the
where you can
weekend and
structure your
holidays.
calendar.
I can schedule my own appointments. I have autonomy of my own day, and I control my own business. After I left the builder and went into real estate full time, I went through my entire life savings.
I believe you.
Someone needs to hear that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Went through my whole savings and
There you
to
go.
zero before. I mean, and that was the gasoline that helped me get my business started. And so that's something I think people need to be conscious of. When you jump into real estate, you're becoming an independent business
You
owner.
gotta-
and
exactly.
You need to have
You have to get out there and do
resources
marketing
to get off
and-
the ground and start your business. So
Absolutely. How did
Message.
I get started? Exactly. Message. Save. How did I get into the real estate business? Well, I was working for the government at the time with the Social Security Administration. Prior to working there, I was working for juvenile probation.
Okay.
And so when I met my boyfriend, who is now my husband, he had his license. And he-
I didn't
Wow.
know
Now
that.
look at that.
Yes, he had his license.
Power couple.
And so I was just like, okay. We used to do dates, guys, going into showing the big $1 million home.
That's so romantic. Now that's real romantic.
That was a date for us.
y'all.
That was a date for us.
Walking around a nice $1 million home.
Looking back, I'm like, you know what, girl?
cute.
Because here's the deal. Anytime on those $1 million properties you get a showing, you're like, okay, this is a potential buyer.
Yes.
But that
Yes.
wasn't the
Yes.
case for us.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
so that's how I got started. I was like, oh, this is so fun, You know, hey, it's a long story to that, but because I didn't start out, guys, selling those $1 million homes. Let's be clear.
Okay.
Okay. But we did a lot of dream building when we were dating, and
Right,
that was
right.
dream
That's
building for
important,
us.
though. Vision.
Yes.
Creating a vision.
Yep.
Tana, before we have to
Okay.
end, how did you get started in
I
real
got
estate?
started in real estate with, I owned a home daycare. I was a registered child care provider. And it just kind of took off from there. I had a friend from San Antonio. She was a realtor. And she said, Tana, have you ever thought about becoming a real estate agent? I think you'd be really good. And it just took off from there. I would have my home daycare from about 5:30ish in the morning until around 5:45. I would leave. No, about 5:30 leave.
So you were part-time.
And then, so I did. I started out part-time. I did. But you know what's crazy is I opened up a commercial. Yes. And, no, but it's okay. I'm going to kick your butt.
No, Tana,
you know, I got to play it
do
off.
it.
It's
Yes.
okay. So, no, but I did. I started out part-time, and I went into full-time because you see those checks, and you're like, wait a minute, I can be doing this full-time. And so that's what I end up doing. I truly love real estate, walking into the houses. You know, you just get happy. It's like, is this my house? But that's it, yeah. I got into it through daycare.
Okay. Before we leave, guys, I want to, as you can see, I have on Red Door Conversation shirt. And so for those of
Lovely.
you guys that want a shirt, we will post how you can order that and the cost to order the shirt. And we also have Red Door Conversation Yeti cups. And so if you guys want that as well, we're going to post that on our website and how much they cost as well. We love them. We thank you guys for supporting us. It's been a wonderful show today, right?
It has.
It has.
Good. This is
Okay.
good.
So
As
our
always.
next podcast is on what day?
June 14th.
Which is a Friday.
That's
We're
a
back
Friday.
to our time
Yes.
at 1:30. We go live from here. Okay.
And it's going to be an excellent show.
gonna be an
That's all
excellent
we're going to
show.
say. We're not going to say anything else. You all
Yeah.
need to tune in
Yes.
to
Thank
that
you
show
must tune
on
in.
the 14th.
Follow
It's going to
up.
be the bomb.
Bomb Biggity.
It's going to be Boss Bomb.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
it. I like it.
Boss Bomb.
It's going to be Boss Bomb.
All right, good show, ladies. Good show.
All right.
We'll see you
Thank
guys
you for
on
tuning
June
in.
the 14th.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.